And I must say, you have Lisa, who's just terrific. Lisa Best.
Yes,
does
she's
a nice
our
job.
administrative assistant.
And, a lot of people are helping out.
And in the Episcopal Church, much like many of the liturgical churches, we celebrate Advent before Christmas.
Now, what's Advent? What is that all about?
Well, Advent is the
I know
time
there
of
used
year.
to be a house where you had to open the windows and things.
Yeah, they still are. We gave
Are
them
they?
away to our children this year, Advent calendars. But it's the time when we remind ourselves that there was a period when life was very dark all over the world, and that's when God decided to come to earth to bring joy and love back to the people. And we get prepared for Christmas at that time. And our preparation is to listen to many of the Old Testament stories and to sing carols that they're not actually like Christmas carols, but they're hymns that ask God to come back to earth. And so we're in preparation in a religious kind of a way for 4 weeks before Christmas, which lessens the whole buying atmosphere, if you know what I mean. Instead of being focused on buy, we're focused on what God has done for us.
Rather than, some of the stores, people actually been stampeded to death.
I know.
Buying stuff for Christmas.
Well, in our own family, a few years ago, in my family, I have 3 grown children with children of their own. We looked around, my husband and I did, and realized that our kids needed nothing. Whatever they wanted, they could buy. They're not rich by any means, but they're comfortable. They don't have to worry about where the next meal is coming from. So instead of exchanging presents with our grown children and our grown grandchildren, we send money to Heifer International.
Okay.
Have you heard of that
Well,
organization?
I gave them a donation for Christmas myself.
And we do that every year, and in their names, in the names of our family. And it's wonderful for me that now my oldest grandson is doing the same for us. So we don't need things in our family, and there are so many people in the world that do. So we decided that would be the best use of our money.
We do pretty much the same. We canceled the giving, sending stuff all over the country, buying things nobody needs and sending them around, and craziness. We stopped it. Got a couple of calls. You want to take a call?
Sure.
Hi, good morning, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
I listen to your program in Dunkirk.
Can you hear it now?
Hello. Yes,
Hello?
I hear you.
No, I mean, can you see the program live in Dunkirk? It's supposed to be live now.
Oh, yes. I know. I was looking for that.
Yeah.
I have been watching it when it was delayed.
Yeah,
I appreciate your program very much, and I'm so happy that it's in Dunkirk now.
Yeah, well, we are too. It's just a wonderful crowd you have over there doing access in Dunkirk too. Krista and Dan and all those wonderful people. They are just terrific workers. Nobody makes any money. They do it for their love of their community.
Well, I enjoy it, and keep up the good work.
Well, thank you very much, caller.
All right.
Send me a stamped envelope, and that's worth a whole bunch of gifts.
I'll certainly do that.
Okay, great. You send it right here to Mayville, Box 188.
188.
Yep.
I got it.
And you get all kinds of wonderful gifts. Thank you, caller, and you have a beautiful Merry Christmas, huh?
Same to you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We don't do a goose. We do a roast. A rib roast for Christmas Day. Geese are hard to find. You can't. I do notice once in a while they have them in Walmart's, but they're pretty pricey, and we do ducks. they're faster and easier. But I do. I get 2 nice big roast beefs and the rib roast, boneless, and I get them at P&G here in Dunkirk, which is they're $5.99 a pound. You can't go wrong for a beautiful rib roast. I get the front end. Because the bigger end is close to the chuck, the smaller end is close to the club steaks. And I process it. And I'll tell you how I do that in a minute. We got to take some phone calls, if you want to.
Okay, fine.
Hey, good morning, caller. Thank you for waiting. Hello?
Good morning.
Morning.
Reverend Sandra. Are there many female priests in the Episcopal Church?
Yes, there are. I would I think I'm right in saying that there are nearly 50% going through seminary at this time are female.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And it's been not quite, well, maybe about 36 or 37 years since the Episcopal Church began to ordain women.
Well, Sandra, let me ask you something. What age do you have to be? Can you go in at any age?
No, not any age.
What's the limit?
You know, you're asking me questions I don't know the answer to, Reed. Why don't you ask me something about how old I am? I'd rather talk about
Well, caller, how old are you?
Oh, dear.
Caller, you could become an Episcopalian
Wrong.
priest. It is wonderful that they do it. They're very Unitarian in that respect, I might add.
We're very inclusive is the
Yes,
word.
indeed.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Totally.
I do
might
know that they prefer that you already have had college education or some life experience. So I'm going to guess about 25.
Yeah.
But in my own case, I didn't go to seminary till I retired. So I was 66 when I began seminary.
Okay. So you apparently there's no limit to what age you have to be.
Well, it depends. It depends on the bishop. And my bishop supported me right from the beginning.
He's a good man. Good man. Well, thank you, caller. Send me a stamped envelope. I've got a lot of nice things for you. Box 188. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You have a good day and Merry
Thank you very
Christmas.
much.
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Of course, there's I know everybody's aware of it. There's a controversy within the church because it is expansive and it is broad,
Yes.
and it allows people who are gay to participate fully in the church, which
Yes.
the big church doesn't, I might add. Although a lot of them are gay anyway. That's the funny part about it. I'm talking about the Catholic Church, of course, and God bless the Catholic Church. It's been there. Actually, the Episcopalian Church is kind of a wing of the Catholic Church in a way, right?
Well, we all started from the same root.
Right.
Yes.
And you have the same saints and people who are involved. And the cardinals, incidentally, were the same cardinals. Some of them walked out with you under Henry. Henry got annoyed, didn't he, at the Catholic Church?
Henry wanted some money, I think.
Do you think that's what
He
it was?
didn't want to give the money away.
Yeah, they wanted a lot of dough to divorce him. He wanted to divorce him. They said they were going to hold him up.
Well, yeah, and he needed a son, and he didn't have one yet, so. But, you know, there already had been a movement in England at that point that, you know, England's a little island off the coast, and they didn't always like sending all their money off to Rome. And so there had been already a movement, like there is politically in many places, to have their English church. And so it was ripe for Henry's fight.
Yeah, he won. He won, although they excommunicated him. So he goes to hell anyway. But maybe. He might go for other reasons. He was
I
an
would
nasty
not
guy.
want to guess who was going to hell or heaven.
Right.
God knows, I don't. And I really don't worry about that.
Yeah. Well, there was a church I was quite involved with for many years, the Unitarian Universalist Church. And the Unitarians got together with the Universalists in 1961 and decided to make one church out of it. And they always say within the church that they got together because they had a lot in common. Now, the Universalists believe that somebody who was in Borneo who never heard of Jesus still would go to heaven if they were a saintly person. That had nothing to do with it. And so they were the Universalists, and they were Christians, and they believed that God was just too good to condemn anybody to hell. And the Unitarians believed pretty much the same. They believed they were too good for God to condemn them to hell. So they got together, and they have one happy church now, which is very small, I might add. And I think the Episcopalian Church is probably the closest thing because they have encompassed everybody. They have allowed people in who normally would not be allowed in the Catholic Church to function. You would not be a priest in the Catholic Church. You better believe it.
And that's another part of the issue. I know that in terms of what gets into the papers and everything, it's always a homosexual issue, and that's not the only problem that there is with the disaffected Episcopalians. They are just as upset about women priests.
Oh, I'm sure they are. Absolutely. If there's prejudice and bias in this world, it goes all the way around. They're probably, I'll tell you something, if these people were in charge of the church, Reverend Baker never would have seen the light of day.
That's right. That's right. She called me the other day.
Did she?
Yes, she did. She's very happy in Washington and working at the school where she is. And she was going to have the privilege of helping to plan the liturgy at the National Cathedral for Christmas.
Wasn't that wonderful?
Oh, well, I thought it was very
Yes.